Hello friends across North Carolina. This is Perry Flynn, and I am going to give a shot, a little research project here about if this might be a good way to do some office side chats, we'll say, with you for some of my messages to the listserv. So I am going to say first, welcome to the 2014-15 school year. I hope it's an amazing one for you and that you had a wonderful and restful summer. So I think for my first chat, I'm going to give you an overview again of the website. Some things have changed about the website, and I don't think people utilize it as much as possible. So I'm going to direct you to the website here. On the right-hand side, you'll see some links that are of interest to me. They may not be to you. Certainly ASHA is, and the Board of Examiners, but some things about equestrian therapy, Operation Smile, Special Olympics that I'm involved in. Check that out if you'd like. So right here will be the link to this video that will go to the YouTube where this video is preserved. I have been publishing the handouts for the LEAD speech language pathology meetings right here in this area for those people to download. So the next part is the assessment and intervention modules. These have been up for a couple of years, but they have been grossly underutilized, I feel like. So there's one in beginning communication skills and assessing communication and learning in children with multiple disabilities. So these are two great links, modules for kids who are augmented communication users or kids with intellectual disabilities to just get communication started. So check those out. There's fluency here with lots of additional tools in the fluency one. Language, resonance, speech sound, disorders, voice. So check those out. They're great resources and people are not using them. There are some evaluation templates here. Now that we are writing evaluation reports, there are some nice, easy templates here for you to use as you see fit in this area. Lots of you know that I have spoken a great deal about the Common Core state standards, and here are some resources about those. So moving on to the helpful documents area, there are many documents here, and I'll just highlight a couple. The dynamic assessment memo, that you can use dynamic assessment as part of the evidence for the IEP team. The Gateways to Placement document can help you and your IEP teams make some decisions about eligibility and placement. The licensure memo, this one right here. Many people, as we've changed to universal license in North Carolina, have had questions, and your human resource people have also had questions. This memo should answer all of your and their questions. PRC 118 funds. These are funds that come from DPI that support the LEAD, SLP, OT, and PT meetings. And your LEA should be sending one representative of all those disciplines and psychology to these two meetings that happen annually. And DPI gives money to support those people's attendance. And this memo talks about the permissible use of those funds past the attendance at those meetings for all SLPs in your school district. So these are the policies that govern services to children with disabilities. That's like the law. I'm going to refer to those again in a minute. And these are the guidelines. They are like a best practice document. This is the 2006 version. They have not been updated since 2006, but not much has changed, as IDEA has not changed since then. I am in the process of updating them. There are going to be very few changes, nothing of great importance, just making the document look a little nicer, employing some latest evidence-based practices in the document. stuff like that. The list of skilled interventions. I've had lots of questions recently about the plan of care. This list of skilled interventions is that plan of care. So here are some things. The workload document and the workload calculation. The OT consultant, PT consultant, and myself are really going to try and push workload for everyone, for all of our disciplines this year. The caseload idea of simply 50 kids on a caseload is really quite out of date. We know that we do lots of other things on behalf of kids and on behalf of procedural compliance and on behalf of documentation. So we're really going to try this year to speak about and get a workload approach going on across the LEAs in North Carolina. These two documents will really help you understand workload, perhaps help your administrators understand it, and put it to greater use, as we know is really best practice, the right thing to do. Lots of people have questions about Medicaid. Here are the Medicaid links and some sample documentations there. I am not the Medicaid consultant. I answer lots of questions, and I'm able to, but Lori Ray and Lauren Holohan, the OT and PT consultants, are the Medicaid consultants, and these are some links to their information that comes directly from Medicaid. So the modified diets part, this is an initiative that the OT consultant and I began a few years ago. In the schools, we do not work on swallowing for kids. We do not work on improving the swallow. We work as teams with child nutrition, occupational therapists, to make sure that kids have the hydration and nutrition that they need to remain a day at school. But it is just not safe. We don't feel, the Department of Public Instruction in North Carolina does not feel it is safe for us to work on improving the swallow in schools. That is a private or medical issue. So here are some other publications that I've written. A couple more are going to be added shortly. The speech-language pathology evaluation process. I've had lots of questions about this. I hope that you are using this instrument to evaluate the performance of speech-language pathologists in your LEA. There really is nothing else out there available that accurately gauges what we do. This is the tool, and this is a video of the training. Lots of people have asked, is the tool available for electronic completion? And I am told that if you open it in the right browser, maybe Foxfire or Internet Explorer, I'm not sure which, that you can complete it electronically. You can write on it electronically. It does not save to a cloud or anything. You have to save it otherwise. Some people have not been able to do that, and in that case, you'll have to use it as a write, print it out and write on it. It is not in the cloud like the teacher appraisal and administrator appraisal instruments are. Some links of interest here to you, just some other useful resources. Check them out to see if they might be of interest to you. So that gives you a quick overview of the website. Check it out if you haven't recently. I want to finish with just a couple ideas that I've had some questions about recently, and that is eligibility first. Eligibility in North Carolina is a three-pronged process. The first prong is you have to prove that a child has a disability. The second prong, that negatively impacts academic achievement or functional performance. The third prong, they are in need of the specially designed, individualized instruction that we provide. That's for a speech primary student. The disability part can be supported by standardized testing, but make sure that when you administer the standardized tests, you check out the examiner's manual to see what that test says constitutes a disability. All of them are not 1.5 standard deviations below the mean. Some are 2. Some are 1 standard deviation below the mean. So check out what the instrument says constitutes a disability. Then, to prove the other 2 prongs, use some non-standard things. Talk to teachers. Use dynamic assessment. Collect samples from classrooms of work, written language samples. Collect a quick oral language sample. All those kinds of things can help you prove the other 2 prongs to eligibility. Then, of course, for related service kids, the student needs to meet the definition of a related service for it to be appropriate for us to be that related service, that being that they require our input to fully meet the goals of the primary area, or they need speech services to fully access the services of their primary area. So think about those definitions, both for primary and related service kids. I talked about the evaluation instrument. I hope you are using it, and the training here is provided on this video. You can train speech pathologists, the evaluators, your principal or lead SLP can view it as well to know how to use the instrument appropriately. So I hope that gives you a good overview. I'm going to be talking, as I said, a lot in North Carolina this year about workload. I'll be visiting many of you in your LEAs to do that talk, and others that might be of interest to you. My fall schedule is about filled up. I have many dates in LEAs, but I hope that I will be seeing you either in the fall or the spring, somewhere around. And thanks so much for what you do for kids in North Carolina. I know we continue to be in some challenging times, but thanks for what you do. And I hope that this video message has been a useful thing to you, and I will probably plan to continue that as some of my listserv messages. Take care. Goodbye.